600 WMT gets your motor started and revs up your engine every Saturday morning at 10 on the My Car Geek Hour, brought to you by Cassill Motors.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Wow.
That was kind of cool.
I thought it was, yeah.
Yeah, that's neat.
That's what I was saying, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, I thought this was the expert hour.
Well, we used to call it that.
Oh.
But see, I think you talked to somebody and waved a magic wand, and it's now called the Car Geek Hour.
We're gonna call my Car Geek Hour. Huh?
That's right. But I may forget and call it the expert hour, and then
there you go.
Okay. Anyway, Jay Cassill is here. Cassill Motors. He's here and ready to take your calls and your questions about any car, any model, any make. And if you're having some problems, he can probably help you decide how it is to fix that.
Anything you got.
That's right.
Yeah, we'll try.
Yeah, I know you. I haven't heard you stumped yet.
Well, we try.
Well, I know you do. Phone numbers here, 365-0600, 1-800-332-5401, star 600 on your U.S. cellular phone. Guess who our first caller is?
First caller on the inaugural Car Geek Hour happens to be Larry from Shellsburg.
Hi, Larry. How are you?
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm fine.
Jay?
Hey, I'm awesome.
Jim, it's been a pretty long day for you, hasn't it?
No, it's just your imagination here.
Have you been listening to him since 6 o'clock?
No.
Oh, okay.
6 o'clock. I thought it was 7.
It was 7, but
was
I had
it
to be
7?
here about 6 or a little after.
geez.
So, yeah. Anyway, so. No, but
Jay?
Yes, sir.
I want your take on performance chips.
Performance chips. I love performance chips.
You do?
Well, it depends on what you're doing.
Well, I read an article the other night on the internet. It said that the only thing they do is lean down the fuel mixture and advance the spark.
On a gas motor, yes, you're about correct on that.
And the conclusion was that it damages your engine.
Not necessarily there.
Now, then the second part of the question is, if they're any good at all, why doesn't the automobile manufacturer put them in the first place?
Well, your car has a chip in it. The manufacturer put a chip in it, and they have to meet all the EPA requirements.
Oh.
And the performance chip, what it's doing, it's tweaking with the timing. It's changing the fuel curve, your air-fuel ratios. They're getting that little extra performance out of it.
Do you recommend them?
On a gas vehicle, for what they cost, unless you're doing some serious engine modifications and then you're doing some tuning with it on a dyno, I probably wouldn't waste my time.
Or money? They're about $100, aren't they?
Well, some of them can be $300-400.
Is that right?
Yep.
Wow.
Now, on some of the diesels, and depending on what you're doing, the diesel performance chip will help out on fuel economy, and you can boost the power quite a bit. I mean, if you're pulling loads, but you got to be real careful with the ones on those, because you can get a lot of performance out of it, and then you start tearing stuff up.
Do any of the automobile manufacturers offer a chip as part of a package?
No, not as well. Ford does with some of their Mustangs and that type of stuff there, and I think Camaro might on some of them. But no, they don't. Excuse me. There's not any real big packages with them in it, no.
All right. Well, good luck on your new show.
Sounds great. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Larry. Good to hear from you. We're going to go to Ruth here in Cedar Rapids. Hi, Ruth.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I don't have a question for Jay, but I have a compliment.
Okay.
My grandson stopped in,
Yeah?
and I said, I need my car serviced. And he said, oh, Granny, don't go anywhere and talk to Jay. He just sold me a truck, and he was so nice.
Well, awesome. Well, I appreciate that.
That's all I had to say.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Ruth. We
Bye.
appreciate that. Jay Cassill is with me this morning. We're talking cars, trucks, SUVs, whatever.
Motorcycles, whatever you want.
You bet.
We could talk pipes and valves today, too.
All right. You could.
Yeah, because we got Russ here with me.
All right.
One of the Fabulous Four, so we could talk pipes and valves.
But give Jay a call here, 365-0600, 1-800-332-5401, star 600 on your U.S. cellular phone. We're going to go to Dave in Dyersville. Hi, Dave.
Yes, sun's shining over here in Dyersville. It's a lovely day.
That's awesome. That's what we like to hear.
Hey, I got a Buick Century. It has a 3100 motor in it, and
Yep.
it has a little tick in it.
A little tick in it. Okay.
Sounds like a lifter when it's idling. I took it to a mechanic, and he said that the pistons were egg-shaped a little bit. Would that be right?
The pistons were egg-shaped.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one. We'll see some that will get a scuffed piston or a scuffed cylinder wall, and first thing in the morning they'll make some noise, and then when you first start up when it's cold, they'll make a little bit of noise, but then the noise goes away, and it's a little more than just a tick. I would be looking. They've had some lifter issues with those. Also, make sure you don't have an exhaust leak. If we got a manifold that's leaking right there at the head, that'll sound like a lifter ticking too.
You there? I don't know where he went.
Hello?
He's gone.
Dave disappeared
Yeah,
on us.
we had that happen a couple of times this morning, so let's see if we can do this. Let's go to Don. Hi, Don. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I had my 2002 Mercury Cougar 35th anniversary in there for a tune-up.
Yeah?
And they did an excellent job on it. Really restored the get and go on it.
Awesome.
Have you seen too many of those?
I've only seen a few of those, and actually I remember yours. Yours is a maroon one.
No, mine's
Wasn't it?
red.
Yeah. Okay, that reddish maroon that they had, yeah.
Yep.
So,
They
cool.
did an excellent job on it.
Great. I'm glad that they took care of you well.
Yeah.
That's what we like to hear.
Okay.
Thanks for calling
Thank
in.
you. Bye.
Thanks, Don. And let's go to Dan here in Cedar Rapids. Hi, Dan.
How are you?
We're awesome. How's Dan?
Pretty good. Hey,
Good.
I got a question for you about a 91 Ford Ranger.
Perfect. I love those.
Hey, it runs fine while it's sitting there, but once it'll only go like 10, 15 miles an hour. It won't go past that, and it's a clutch too.
Okay. Which motor do you have?
It's a 6-cylinder. I'm not sure exactly what size it is.
Okay. When it's sitting still, it seems to rev up just fine. But when you try to go, you can't get over about 10 mile an hour.
Right.
Okay. First thing I want you to do is I want you to go back by the tailpipe and see if it feels like the adequate exhaust is coming out.
Okay.
It sounds like you might have a plugged up catalytic converter. The other thing I want you to look at is fuel filter.
Okay.
It'd be nice if you had a fuel pressure gauge you could put on it to check your fuel pressure, but fuel filter will make it do that, and plugged up exhaust will make it do that.
Okay. I was gonna say it was doing that, then it cleared up, and then it started doing it again. So it's still the same problem.
It still could be the same problems, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for the call this morning. I think we have Dave back on the phone here. Dave in Dyersville. That was the call that went out, and you were talking.
Yes, I'm back now. We got cut off, and I didn't hear your reply to that
Okay.
3100 that had a tick in it.
Yeah, they had some lifter issues with those, but I would also look at exhaust leak. We get the manifolds will leak up right at the heads, and it'll sound like a lifter ticking also there. So I'd be
It
looking.
could be a intake.
Exhaust manifold. Could be an exhaust manifold or exhaust leak. You could have a lifter, or you could have a lifter that's making some noise too.
Because it runs good, and it's only got 60,000 miles on it.
Yeah. One of the things, if it is a lifter that's just starting to click, just a slight bit, when you change the oil, I would put a half to a full quart of transmission fluid in the engine. And if it's just a lifter that's sticky, the transmission fluid will help clean up the engine and can take that away.
All right, thank you.
Okay, no problem.
Thanks so much. We appreciate it. Jay Cassill is with me. We're talking cars, trucks, SUVs, motors, things.
Whatever you want.
Whatever you have a problem with or would like to know more about, give Jay a call here. 365-0600, 1-800-332-5401, star 600 on your U.S. cellular phone. Going to Marge in Stewartville. Where's Stewartville, Marge?
Where is Stewartville?
Minnesota.
Where's that? Minnesota?
Up by Rochester.
Okay. All right.
Okay. That's why I didn't know where Stewartville was.
Me either.
Yeah. Awesome. What can we do for you today, Marge?
Okay, well, I have a Highlander, and it has a check engine light on it, and they tell me it's an O2 sensor.
Okay.
But when it's cool outside, the check engine light doesn't seem to come on.
Okay.
Do O2 sensors kind of come and go, the problem with them?
An O2 sensor should, if the check engine light comes on for an O2 sensor, it should stay on all the time. Usually the only time a check engine light will go off is when you have what they call an evap leak, which is part of the evap system on it. That's the only time I've ever seen a check engine light go back off. Usually if you have an O2 sensor that malfunctioned, it'll throw that code and the light will stay on until it's fixed and reset.
Okay.
First thing I'd look at is I'd look at my gas cap. That's the first thing on the evap leak is either the gas cap's not getting put on tight. You want to make sure it clicks when you put it on. And the other thing is...
Yeah, I've done that over and over.
Okay. When you take your gas cap off, look at there should be a rubber O-ring, rubber seal there. And make sure that seal's good. Make sure it's not all cracked. If it is, replace the gas cap. And one other thing you could try just to see if it's a gas cap not sealing is take a little bit of Vaseline and put on that rubber seal to help soften it up, and it'll make the seal better. But otherwise, you might there's a couple different sensors in the gas tank and all that pertain to that, so you may have one of those making some problems for you.
So is that quite expensive, or?
Nope. What they'll do is they'll put what they call a smoke machine on it, and then they can find that leak. So.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, that helps me a lot. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you very much. Well, let's see. Let's go to Mark on the road. Hi, Mark.
Hi. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
We are awesome.
Oh, just fine. It's a beautiful day.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. My question is just what current year pickup truck do you recommend, like between a Ford F-150, Sierra 1500, and a Ram? Which one would you recommend? Because I'm in the market for a new pickup, and I'm going to get one this year or next year.
That's the thing I got. I'm a diehard Ford guy. Okay, I've been accused of still wearing my Ford underwear. If I was buying a new half-ton truck today, I would definitely buy a Dodge.
Really?
Yep. For a long time, it would have killed me to ever say that, but I've sold some to my friends, and they absolutely love them. The fuel economy is probably the best of all of them. The power of the 5.7 Hemi is just unbelievable, and Dodge has really stepped up to the plate on their quality control. I got less problems with them, and the creature comforts are just phenomenal. So
what do you think about that? I heard they're putting a diesel in the 1500 for like $2,000 option.
The jury's still out on that. I wanna drive them and see how long it's gonna see. I want it out for at least a year. Dodge and Jeep there back a few years ago tried building a small diesel motor and putting it in their Jeeps, and it was a total flop. They tell me that the diesel's pretty good on this new half-ton, but there's none out there yet. That's just all the reps are telling us it's great because they're driving them. So,
somebody told me they're from Fiat. The engine, they're running this engine over in Europe, and it's a clean diesel. So
I would hold up. So that 5.7 Hemi is phenomenal.
Okay.
So, okay.
All right.
Sounds
awesome.
Thank
you very much.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for the call this morning. Jay Cassill, my guest. It's the Car Geek Hour.
My Car Geek Hour.
Got that
Yeah,
through.
you got it right, finally.
Right. Anyway, Dave in Hiawatha. Hi, Dave.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I've got a 93 Mercedes E300.
Cool.
And the engine surges when it's idling when you first start it.
Uh-huh.
Now, we've replaced the mass airflow sensor about every 6 months, and that takes care of it for a little while, and then it seems to go bad again.
Okay. You should try cleaning the mass airflow sensor, but do you have a K&N filter on it? Do you know?
Hey, what?
A K&N air filter, one of the air filters with the oil on it?
I'm not sure.
Okay, I would look at that because we get those. The K&N filters are really, really good, but on some cars it'll irritate the mass airflow sensor, the oil will, and it'll cause problems like what you're talking about. So
I see.
I'd be looking at that there. So, and I would try cleaning that mass airflow sensor, see if there's some reason it's getting some contaminants into it that it shouldn't be.
Okay, and just blow it out with air is what you're suggesting.
They make some cleaner you can spray on it too. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much.
No problem.
Thank you. Jay Cassill, Cassill Motors. We haven't even got to talk about Cassill
We haven't even
Motors.
talked about Cassill
No,
Motors. The lines have been
no.
full. That's awesome. That's what we
Amen.
love.
Gene in Cedar Rapids. Hi, Gene.
Yes, I have a Subaru Impreza.
Okay.
And it's a 2004.
Yep.
Do you know what kind of mileage I should expect out of it?
You know, we see a lot of Subarus. I'll see them with 250, 280,000 miles, no problem. The one issue that you'll have on those, the head gaskets will start to leak a little bit of oil, but it's not that big of a deal. But watch your oil leak so you don't run out of oil.
Okay, now another question.
Yeah.
Do you know what kind of mileage I should get out of it?
Fuel economy? No.
Yes.
That thing should be in the, I'm going to say the upper 20s, maybe the mid 30s.
Oh, it should be in the upper 20s.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I appreciate your help.
No
Thank you
problem.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll take one more call before a break, and then we hope the folks will stick around because we'll be back after the break, of course. Toby in Mount Vernon. Hi, Toby.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Jay, I thank you for your show, and I'm a friend of your sister,
I
Stephanie.
was just going to say, I figured this was who it was. I was hoping that you called Stephanie or text her and make sure she was listening today.
I did. We've been going back and forth, but I'm thankful for your show and everything, and congratulations on it.
Good deal. Thank you for calling in.
I do have a couple of questions. I
Sure.
have a 2011 Ford Explorer, and my butt warmer is not working
Uh-oh.
on the driver's side. It is on the passenger side.
Okay.
Is it something that I can just hook up or
Well, we need to look to make sure that the connector didn't come undone.
Okay.
But otherwise, it's possibly we have to replace the heating element in the seat.
and that's probably a lot of money, right?
Oh, it's not too bad.
Oh, well, I just wondered if I could talk my husband into getting a new car.
There you go. Yeah, it's
and I know
super.
a place where I can go.
It's super, super, super expensive. Yeah, it's terribly expensive. You wouldn't want to try fixing that. You definitely would want a new car.
Well, and then the other question is how? I mean, I have 60,000 miles on this 2011.
Okay.
So when is the best time? I mean, should I just run the wheels down or what?
You know, for maximum trade-in, that 50 to 60,000 miles is a good number to trade at.
Okay.
Depends on where you're at on with service-wise. You know, as far as brakes, that type of stuff. You know, if you're at the point of needing that type of stuff, you got to make that decision of, do I do it and then drive it to 80,000 miles, or do I do it, or do I not do it and just trade it in?
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
No problem. Thanks for calling in.
Have a blessed day.
You too.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Jay Cassill, my guest. Cassill Motors. We're going to take a break. Cassill Motors is located where now in Cedar
We're
Rapids?
on the corner of 16th Avenue and Williams Boulevard, right next to Tyson's West. And 396-2698, and the beautiful Shelley will put you through to whoever you want to talk to.
Sounds great.
She's even there today.
She is?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, special appearance.
You're not working, but she is, or vice versa? Or
I'm
both?
working.
Oh, okay.
Aren't I?
You're here, I
Yeah,
guess.
I'm
Well, I
working.
didn't- but the
Yeah.
rest of it, so. All right, we'll come back and talk more with Jay in just a moment. Don't go away. Give him a call if you got a question. 600-WMT.
Baseball season is finally here. And guys, if you're into fantasy baseball, you'll want to hear this. These new one-day fantasy baseball leagues at FanDuel.com are the hottest thing in fantasy sports. At FanDuel, you play in one-day fantasy baseball leagues for real money with immediate cash payouts. And with no season-long commitment, you only play when you want. And you can pick a new team any day. And get this, there's a guy in Detroit named Chris Prince who's won over $535,000 playing at FanDuel. And he's not alone. Over 245,000 people have already won money playing in these one-day fantasy leagues at FanDuel.com. FanDuel is the leader in one-day fantasy baseball. It's so big that they're paying out up to $1 million in winnings every day during baseball season. And right now, FanDuel is giving you up to $200 free. That's right. For every dollar you deposit, FanDuel will match it up to $200. The only way to get up to $200 free is to go to FanDuel.com, click the microphone in the upper right corner, and use the promo code SPRING. That's FANDUEL.com, promo code SPRING.
Steve and Dan on this Final Four weekend. Looking forward to Monday here on the Eastern Iowa Morning Show on WMT AM and FM. We'll catch up with one of our medical experts who's got more on this new suggestion when it comes to 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. No, now they're saying 7.
Plus, the Obama administration says 7.1 million people signed up for Obamacare. The numbers coming back from the states undercut that a bit. We'll talk with Fox News digital politics editor Chris Steyerwalt about that. Plus, we'll have all your news, traffic, weather, and sports Monday morning morning on WMT.
Just as April showers bring May flowers, January snows are likely to bring lousy first quarter earnings. When earnings reporting season unofficially gets underway next week, corporate profits are likely to show their first decline since the third quarter of 2012. Blame the polar vortex that settled over the Midwest and Northeast. Snowstorms and frigid temperatures shuttered businesses, snarled traffic, and grounded thousands of flights. They also halted construction projects, disrupted rail lines, and hurt auto sales. Investment strategist Ed Yardeni thinks anyone who can get away with a weather excuse for bad earnings will use it, and it will be plausible. This week's Barron says the big question will be how optimistic companies are about the future. For now, estimates for the rest of the year are largely unchanged. Analysts see profit growth snapping back to 8% in the second quarter and accelerating through the rest of the year. But we might not know the full impact of the polar vortex until May. I'm Jeff Bellinger for Barron's Magazine.
News Radio 600 WMT.
Welcome back. It is the Car Geek Hour. My Car Geek Hour.
Yeah,
Hour.
we're going to have my little sister's getting our website all up on that. It's going to be mycargeek.net.
Do you want my picture?
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Sure you.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
Right now they can go to castlemotors.com
Yeah.
and they can ask me a question there too.
That's right. But we have Jay Cassill live and the brilliant, I haven't said that, the brilliant Jay Cassill
I was
is
hoping
here.
you forgot that.
No,
That was when it was the expert hour.
That's true, but you were still a brilliant Jay Cassill.
Oh.
So maybe one of these callers would call and ask for the brilliant Jay Cassill. We'd put him right on.
There you go. Okay.
Anyway, phone number if you'd like to talk to Jay Cassill, 365-0600, 1-800-332-5401, star 600 on your U.S. cellular phone. We're talking about cars and trucks and SUVs and motorcycles.
Whatever you got.
And whatever you got. And if you got a question or a problem about that, why, Jay would be glad to answer that for you. Let's go to Bob in Davenport. Hi, Bob.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Sorry I'm not in Cedar Rapids, so I could stop into your business.
Yeah.
My problem is I have a 94 Toyota Corolla.
Yeah.
And when I make a real sharp right or left turn, I get a unusual noise.
Is it kind of a clicking sound or a thunking sound?
No, it's a real sharp. I don't know how to describe it, but it's almost like a siren.
Like a siren?
Squeak maybe or something?
Okay.
Beg your pardon?
It's like a siren sound.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if does it do it going down the road too straight and then it gets louder when you turn maybe?
I don't notice it as much.
Okay.
Have you had any
But
when I made a real sharp right and left turn, now the mechanic that I always take it to put more fluid in the power steering. Power steering.
Okay.
And did some adjustment to the belt.
Okay.
But it still does it.
Okay. Wow, that's a hard one without hearing it. I've seen on some of those we'll get the backing plate
in the wheel.
That's what I was going to say.
The wheel bearings.
Well, not necessarily the wheel bearing, but I've seen some of them where the backing plate on the backside of the brake rotor, when you make a hard turn, it will actually lightly rub the rotor and make that type of squealing sound.
Okay.
You haven't had brakes just put on it recently, have you?
No.
Okay, or anything done up in the front end?
They haven't done anything to the. I think the last time, about 6 months ago or so, I had the tires rotated.
Okay.
But,
I'd be looking around that backing plate, make sure there's not a rock in there, and make sure it's not too close to the rotor. Sometimes they'll get bent just a little bit, and it'll cause that problem. Okay?
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for the call this morning.
Okay.
Let's go to Jim and Marion. Hi, Jim. Hello.
You there, Jim?
Hi.
Hi, Jay.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Say, I've got a 94 Ford pickup.
Okay.
It's got 180,000 on it.
Perfect.
I've got two problems with it.
Okay.
One, once in a while, it'll just, the switch is shut off.
You just go down the road and it shuts off?
Yes.
Okay. What's your other problem?
And the other problem is shifting down from like overdrive. It doesn't want to shift down. You have to do it manually.
Okay. On the shutting off, the ignition module will do that. I mean, does it have to sit for just a little while and cool off before it starts?
Sometimes it'll start right back up. Other times you have to wait a little bit.
Okay. We've had the ignition module that'll do that on those. They'll heat up, and it'll make them shut off, and then they'll start back up after just a few minutes. So I'd be looking at that there. Make sure it's a spark issue. There's also one other thing I want you to look at on that 94 Ford. On the right beside the battery, on the passenger side, there's a small wire that goes to the fender. I think it's got an 8mm bolt on it.
Okay.
It's a ground wire.
Yeah.
Make sure that bolt is tight.
Okay.
I've seen that before where that bolt will actually loosen up just a little bit, and it'll do that exact problem you got there too.
Okay, that's where it goes to ground there.
Yep. It's just a small wire.
Okay.
It's a computer ground.
Oh, okay.
On your transmission shifting down, I would be looking. That should have a detent cable that runs up to the throttle, and make sure that that's not out of adjustment, or that the cable's frayed or something there and getting ready to break.
Does that run from the transmission up to the
throttle, right beside the throttle cable?
Okay.
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 Sounds good.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you for calling in.
Thank you very much. All right. Jay Cassill, my guest, Cassill Motors. Call him here at 365-0600, 1-800-332-5401, star 600 on your U.S. cellular phone. Let's go to Kim in Cedar Rapids. Good morning.
Hi there.
Good morning.
Hey, I've got a 01 Ford Focus.
Yep.
4-cylinder, and it would run but didn't want to idle. It would die.
Okay.
And I parked it and I got my pickup truck, started driving it. Well, when I went back to work on the Focus, and the engine light did come on.
Yep.
I couldn't hardly get it to run. I dumped some gas down the carburetor, got it going, and now it just starts up and dies.
Okay. What did you ever plug in to see what the code was on the check engine light?
No, I hadn't gotten that far. I've been busy and just hadn't gotten to it.
Okay. That's where I would start, is I'd check to see what our code is there. The starting and run but dying, first thing I'm going to go after is I'm going to be looking at my throttle body, make sure it's not all dirty and skunky.
Okay.
And mass airflow sensor, again, I'd look at that too. But the first thing I'd get that code and see what you got there, and then I'd be inspecting that throttle body. I'll bet you when you open up the plate and look at it, it's all black and gross and all gummy, and I'd start by cleaning that out.
Take some carburetor cleaner and clean that up. Now, it doesn't have to be running to find the code?
Nope. No, to get the code, no, it doesn't have to be running.
Okay.
Okay.
All righty.
Sounds
very
good.
Much.
Thank you.
Good program.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks for the call. Jay Cassill, Cassill Motors here in Cedar Rapids Jay is our guest. Kevin in Solon. Hi, Kevin.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I want to speak to the brilliant.
Thank you.
Boy,
Thank you. The brilliant Jay Cassill. Very
Yeah,
good.
thank you.
Previous caller asked you about a Ford truck, GMC, Chevy versus Dodge.
Yeah.
You mentioned you really like the Dodge truck.
Yes,
Are you
I do.
talking like the brand new ones, like 13, 14s, or?
I'm talking 2009 or newer on the Dodge.
Okay.
Yep. And all of them are good. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I have them all.
Yeah.
I just, from what I've seen and what I've been playing with, they're a nice truck. We've had really good luck with them. They've just been really good.
Well, I've been married to GMC for probably 25 years. I've owned a half a dozen brand new ones and used ones, and
Yep.
and I'm in the market right now for a new truck, and just been trying to figure out which way to go myself.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll be back at the shop later on this afternoon, about 2 o'clock. You stop out. I have all three of them in stock, and I'll take you for rides, and we'll go drive them all, and I'll show you what I think.
Well, I have a grandson's birthday today. I won't be able to do it today. I got to
Okay.
go there to my little 3-year-old grandson. But
Okay.
I'll
You come
be
up
in
and
touch
see
with
me.
you soon.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate the call. 600 WMT. Jay Cassill is with you this morning. Joe in Cedar Rapids.
Hi. I
Hi.
got a 99 hose with a V8 in it.
Okay.
It runs about 210 to 215. Is that too hot?
Nope, that's perfect.
That's perfect. Should
Yep.
run that hot,
Yep,
huh?
it should run that hot.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know. Thank
Sounds
you very
good.
much.
All right, it's the My Car Geek Hour is what you're calling it, is
Yep,
that right?
My Car Geek.
Okay, and so if
I
you have
wanna
a question...
I want to be your car geek.
All right, very good. If you have any
Yeah.
thing that you'd like to know about your car and why it's not running the way it should, you talk to Jay Cassill. He'd be glad to... let's go to Ron in Cedar Rapids here. Hi, Ron.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Jay.
Good morning.
I may have heard this from you one other time, but I didn't write anything down. I heard
Okay.
you mention again this morning about putting a quart of transmission fluid when you
Yeah.
change oil.
Yep.
I've got a 50 Pontiac, and I think that's maybe what we were talking about.
Okay, yep.
That would be the
It helps clean the engine, especially on that old car there. I mean, where it sits around a little bit. Transmission fluid's real high detergent, and it'll help clean the motor. So
Okay.
put it in when you change oil and leave it in, and just do it every oil change.
All right. Thank
Okay.
you very much.
No problem. Thank you.
Thanks for the call. Phone numbers here, 365-0600, 1-800-332-5401, star 600 on your U.S. cellular phone, talking cars and trucks and motorcycles.
Whatever.
Okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we
if you
have
have
fun.
a question about your car or truck or whatever, give Jay a call here. We're going to Steve in Bellevue. Hi, Steve. How are you?
Good. He mentioned about 5.7 Hemis. I've got an 04
Uh-huh.
Hemi, a half ton,
Yep.
and it's got about 120,000 miles. And the other day, it started acting like it was missing coming home down the highway at low speed. Got worse and worse, and it actually stalled out. It'll barely start at idle, but if you hold it at about 1,500 RPM, it'll tend to run. We tried to run the codes on it,
Yeah.
and either we didn't have a good code reader or something, but can't figure out what would you suspect would be the
Well, if it's
main problem.
where you're talking there that it's running rough and you got to kind of keep it revved up and everything, it sounds like we got a fuel or air issue.
Okay.
I'd be looking. You might have a fuel injector that's hanging up, if it's actually missing, or a fuel injector that's leaking through. I would start first off. Anytime I'm looking at something like this here, I'm gonna look at that throttle body.
Okay,
Everybody forgets to look at the throttle body. Look at that throttle body, see if it's all skunky and black and gross, and clean that up. But it sounds like you got a fuel injector issue. I'd want to get a fuel pressure gauge on it and see what I got for fuel pressure also.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's where I would start.
Hey, thanks.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for calling.
Have a good day.
You
Bye.
too.
All right. Lots of calls this morning. That's a good thing.
Yes, it is.
The brilliant Jay Cassill is here. Steve on the road. Hi, Steve. How are you?
Hi.
Hi.
Good. How you doing?
Awesome. Where are you?
I'm driving to Dubuque from Peoria, Illinois.
Okay. Awesome.
And I tuned in on your radio program. I wish we had this in Peoria. I'm not sure that we do.
Well, you should be able to listen to
Yeah,
it
you
there.
can get it
or-
in Peoria.
Yeah, you can get it in Peoria or iHeartRadio. You can get it on.
You bet.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Every Saturday.
Oh, that's great. I'm going to tune in.
Cool.
I just wanted to ask you a couple quick questions.
Okay.
I have a Monte Carlo, a 2002 Monte Carlo,
Okay.
a 3.8.
Yep. Great
And
motor.
I've really enjoyed the car, but when I bought it, they explained to me a little bit about how the harness being possibly messed up a little bit with aftermarkets that were applied to the car at some point and then taken off.
Okay.
And they recognized that by looking at the wiring harness.
Okay.
And I guess there's been some strange things that have occurred, and I don't know that a rumor that I heard that once you mess with that wiring harness, you can really screw up the computer.
Nah.
And I wondered if you had ever heard that or experienced that.
That there,
Go ahead.
you won't. I mean, messed up the computer. You're probably not going to do anything there. If you're disconnecting, they hook into a ground wire for the computer and it breaks it or something. Of course, when it doesn't have ground, it's not going to work. should be able to fix that. Just, I can't think of anything unless they're putting juice going down the wrong wire. But that's going to happen right when they put their aftermarket deal on. It would do it right then to the computer. But having something on there and taking it off, if you didn't experience any if you're not experiencing a problem now, it's probably not from that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm going to move on to the next question. I've got 137,000 miles on it.
Yep.
And I noticed in the periodicals and the car magazines that there seems to be an ongoing demand for Monte Carlos of this vintage. Like 2000 to 2009 when they stopped making them. I'm not sure when. But in fact, I've seen some that are selling for the same price as I bought mine for about 4 years ago, which was kind of a surprise.
Yep,
you don't usually see that.
It's a very popular car. The younger crowd likes them, and that 3800 is just such a phenomenal engine. That's what helps out to make it so popular too, because they're very long lived.
That's what my mechanic told me. He said, "Go find a 3.8."
Yep. He's a smart mechanic.
And I was looking for a Buick, and I couldn't find a Buick in my price range.
Yep.
And so I bought this car because it had a 3.8 in my price range, and I thought, oh boy, I'm 70, and I thought, oh man, this is not my style,
Yeah.
But I just love it. It's a great road car. I just love it. It's so secure on the road. It just, I guess it has what they call a W frame that they used, including for police cars and things.
Okay.
It just has so much control on the road. I love it.
Sounds good. We got some other callers here we got to get to. I appreciate your call.
Thank you for your time.
No problem.
I sure appreciate it.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Bye now.
All right, thanks for the call. 600 WMT. Jay Cassill is my guest. Cassill Motors. You have all these cars out there that you're talking about.
We got transporter loads coming in like crazy. There's about 150 cars on the lot right now. Greg and the boys have got some awesome deals going this weekend. Roger's gone, so when the boss is gone, the boys will play.
Okay.
So
tell everybody where you're at. Phone numbers, all those good things.
The corner of 16th Avenue and Williams Boulevard, right next to Tyson's.
Mm-hmm.
And 396-2698, and the beautiful Shelley will put you through to your favorite salesperson or service person.
All right, sounds good. And you're going to be back there later this afternoon.
I'll be back there about 2 o'clock.
Very good. All right. We'll come back and talk more with Jay Cassill, take some more calls when we do. Have to take a quick break. You're listening to 600 WMT.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. A Chinese ship, according to a report, has picked up signals possibly connected to the missing Malaysian plane. The location?
970 miles off the coast of Australia. There is one storm approaching the area where searching is going on. That storm will keep seas rough, keep clouds in the area, and some showers. That storm will linger for the next 2 days before we see some clearing at the start of the coming week.
Fox meteorologist Rick Reichmuth. The president slamming a GOP budget proposal in his weekly address.
While those at the top are doing better than ever, too many Americans are working harder than ever, but feel like they can't get ahead.
Republicans, meanwhile, criticizing federal jobs training programs, saying they're too scattered, bureaucratic, and inefficient. Latest numbers show our economy added 192,000 jobs in March. Unemployment rate stayed at 6.7%. Fox News, we report, you decide.
The Dam to Downtown 10K, Saturday, April 12th in Iowa City, raises money for student scholarships in the greater Iowa City area. This is a certified Chip Time 10K road race. Get details at damtodowntown.com.
The Wyoming Historical Museum will hold a pancake breakfast at Memorial Hall in Wyoming Sunday, April 6th. The funds will help cover the uninsured costs of cleaning and renovation following the fire next door back in July, and portions of the museum will be open. It's not just another pancake breakfast, it's good food in Wyoming at the Pancake Breakfast Sunday, April 6th.
Attention contractors, woodworkers, and do-it-yourselfers. Don't miss the annual Spring Tool Sale on now at Acme Tools. Take 10% off most everything in the store from all the major brands of the world's best tools and accessories. Visit with factory reps and try before you buy. Plus, register to win a special prize package from Milwaukee, valued at over $700. It's the annual Spring Tool Sale on now at Acme Tools on Blairs Ferry Road in Cedar Rapids.
The WMT Great Eastern Iowa Tractorcade Ride is June 8th through the 11th. We have several primary driver openings remaining, so jump on board. This year, we head to Cedar Falls, Waterloo, Waverly, and New Hartford area. For more information, call Renee at 395-0530.
Today is looking a lot nicer than yesterday with partly to mostly sunny skies. A little bit warmer, too, with highs in the lower 50s. Southwest winds only around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clouds increase overnight tonight. Light south winds continue with lows in the middle 30s. For the day tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies and the very off chance of a passing shower. I think a lot of us stay dry. High temperatures in the upper 50s. Slightly better chance of showers on Monday, middle 50s on the way. That's your KCRG TV9 First Alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Justin Gertz on WMT AM and FM.
Currently 45
News
degrees.
Radio 600 WMT.
Here in Cedar Rapids, as I said, 45 degrees. Coming up in the next hour, Gary Dorfield, Coldwell Bankers, will be here, and we're going to talk real estate and some
awesome
how to buy and sell a home and all those good things. So,
cool.
In the meantime, Jay Cassill is here. Cassill Motors. He's taking your calls. Boy, we have all kinds of people.
We got all kinds of people that want to talk to the
You
Car
bet.
Geek.
Mary in Cedar Rapids. Hi, Mary.
Hi.
Good morning.
I have a 98 Pontiac Grand Prix, and I have a kind of a similar issue to that gentleman that called earlier.
Okay.
Where I'll be driving along, and all of a sudden, my car dies.
Okay.
But it doesn't happen that often, so it's not like I can say, okay, yeah, it happened when I turned or whatever, and it has never happened out on the highway.
Okay. Does it, like, maybe when it rains, it does it?
I haven't noticed that.
Okay. Yeah, we need to figure out a little more consistency on it. We could have a wiring harness that's pulling a little bit that causes a problem there. Those got a crank sensor and a cam position sensor that would both cause that. Do you do more short in-town driving or?
Well, no, I drive to Palo every day.
Okay.
And back, and it never happens there.
Huh. Yeah, we need to get figure out a little more consistency when it's doing it. That way we can get a little closer to figuring out what it is.
Yeah, because if I put it in neutral real quick, it'll pop right back, start right back up.
Okay. You might have somebody look at with throwing it in neutral there, looking at that mass airflow sensor and maybe cleaning that. That could cause some problems there for you.
Mass airflow sensor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Try that. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. It's the My Car Geek Hour with Jay Cassill. Hey,
you finally got it.
Hey.
That's
we'll get
awesome.
Sooner or later, but don't count on it the next time.
Okay.
Wayne and Marion. Hi, Wayne. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you guys?
We are awesome. Or at least I am.
Hey,
Jim's a little tired.
I've got a 94 Plymouth
Okay.
with about 141,000 miles on it.
Okay.
And I have two intermittent problems with it.
Okay.
One is the transmission intermittently won't shift from low.
Okay.
And normally when that happens, it does it when it's hot. But you can drive it around town all day long and it'll never fail. But when you stop, go into a store, you shut the engine off, go into the store and get something, come back out, it probably will not shift.
Really? Okay.
From low. But you bring it home, let it set for a couple hours, it'll work fine.
Okay. When was the last time you had the transmission serviced?
It's been a couple of years, and I had it serviced for that purpose, and they didn't. At that time, I didn't realize that they had to stop for a while.
Okay.
They drove it around town all day long, and they couldn't get it to fail, so they thought they had it resolved.
Okay.
My question now, though, is I'm looking at or thinking about whether it would be feasible to rebuild that transmission or have a rebuilt one put in, because I'm kind of getting tired of messing with it. Or is it time to? Is it more? I can't afford to buy a new one just yet.
Okay.
I want to keep it going as long as I can, but
how
much does it cost to rebuild a transmission? Or
transmission's going to cost you anywhere from probably $1,200 to $2,000.
Yeah.
On a 94, I would probably tell you I wouldn't do that. it's not gonna make it last any longer, or as far as to get the value out of it. I would probably drive it until the transmission would go out. Trying to think what else on that there. Did you have it flushed or a real service where they did the filter and everything?
Told them to do a real service on it.
Okay.
And
what's your fluid? I guess I'd be looking at what
fluid level looks good.
Is it dirty or anything? Is it?
Nope.
It's nice and red.
Yep.
Okay. We could have there's some input and output speed sensors on those. You could have one of the sensors that's acting up. Have you had the computer scan to look at anything in it?
I would say no.
Okay. I'd go plug it into a scanner and see if we got a sensor that's malfunctioned. It'll throw a code in there for you.
Okay.
Okay.
All righty.
Sounds good. Thanks for calling.
Yeah. The other problem I've got is cold.
Yeah.
It doesn't want to idle. But
Okay.
if I can, if I take my foot off the gas too quickly,
Yep.
the engine will stop.
I would be looking at.
Neutral, hit the.
Yep. I'd be looking at cleaning my throttle body to start out on that.
Okay.
Okay.
All righty. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the call. Jay Cassill, Cassill Motors. Jay is with us this morning talking cars and trucks and SUVs and things. Eldon and Atkins. Hi, Eldon.
Good morning. May I speak to the exceptional Jay Cassill?
There you go.
It's the brilliant Jay Cassill. We have to get this right.
Yeah. Wow. How are you doing today, Eldon?
I'm doing well, and I'm wondering if sometimes you do any looking for a customer that's real specific about the vehicle he would like to purchase.
I'll get you whatever you want. I do it every day.
I'm thinking about an all-wheel drive van-type vehicle with 60,000 miles, and I would use your judgment as to which one would be the most trouble-free.
Okay. Sounds good. Why don't you give me a call at the office so we can sit down and we'll talk about it, and I can get down a little more specific on it for you, and I'll get you whatever you want.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem. We were just talking about you last night.
Well, I hope it was at least somewhat good.
Of course it was. It was with the Krugs.
Oh, yes.
So,
yeah.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Jay.
Thank you. Give me a call.
Thanks now.
Thanks.
Bye. All right, let's see if we can get this one in. Let's talk to Ken here in Cedar Rapids. Hi, Ken.
Hey, how you doing?
Awesome.
Does your service department work on radios?
We have a place that'll do it for us, so we can take it out and send it in for you, yes.
All righty. I'll definitely get a hold of you.
Sounds awesome. Thanks for calling.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
When you talk about getting what people want in their cars, how do you go about that? What if somebody walks in and says, gee, I'm looking for this year, this make, this model, this color. Now, you must have sources that you can do that.
I have sources. I get on the computer with our dealer networking and with lease companies that I deal with all around the United States and new car dealers around the United States, and I can find you whatever you want.
It's just that simple, huh?
It's just
but
that
you
simple.
have quite a few cars on your lot, and you probably might have just exactly what they want.
I might have just what you want.
That's right.
So yeah.
And you're talking about the trucks you have. You can drive a truck with the gentleman that called in earlier.
Yep. Wow.
And you do that with a lot of folks. Don't you go out and take a drive?
If you got a problem with your car and you want somebody to just go for a ride with it, I'll go for a ride with you. I won't charge you anything. I'll give you an idea of what it is, and you can take it to your mechanic and have it fixed.
All right. Jay Cassill, I guess Cassill Motors is where?
We're on the corner of 16th Avenue and Williams Boulevard, Southwest, right next to Tyson's.
And phone number?
396-2698, and the beautiful Shelley will put you through to whoever you want.
Very good. Jay Cassill, my guest this morning. We'll talk with him again in just a moment. This is 600 WMT.
Do you need to sell your home but don't want to end up like your friends or neighbors that needed to go through 2 or 3 realtors and months of frustration to finally sell your home? Hi, this is Terry Graff.
And this is Mike Graff with the Graff Home Selling Team, and we want to be the first and the last realtor you'll ever need.
We guarantee to sell your home at a price you agree to in 120 days, or we'll personally buy it ourselves. Of course, some restrictions apply.
We don't believe in passive marketing, like putting a sign in the yard and holding an open house so your nosy neighbors can check out your place.
We spend tens of thousands of dollars targeting the top internet sites where buyers search.
That creates demand and helps our homes sell faster and for more money than the market average.
You risk nothing, since if you're not happy, fire us and pay nothing. We're not bragging, we're just applying for a job.
Your home deserves the best marketing to sell on time and for the most money.
Call us today at 491-0000. That's 491-0000. Or check us out online at 491-0000.com and start packing.
Fox on Film.
I'm Jane Metzler.
Captain America needs my help. When do we start?
This superhero sequel makes the leap from the 40s to the present. Chris Evans back in the title role in Captain America: The Winter Soldier on a mission to rescue a Navy ship taken over by pirates. Scarlett Johansson co-stars as the Black Widow.
I think I'm pretty.
Johansson also stars as an alien picking up male hitchhikers in the R-rated film Under the Skin.
Been in prison 12 years. I missed a lot.
Jude Law getting rave reviews as an ex-con safecracker who refused to rat out his boss in Dom Hemingway.
In the age of the dinosaurs.
Morgan Freeman narrates a new IMAX documentary not about penguins, but lemurs. Island of Lemurs, Madagascar follows a scientist's mission to help this endangered species. That's Fox on Film from Fox News Radio.
The home of the Hawkeyes, 600 WMT.
I'm KCRG's Josh Christensen. Well, we had a lot of USHL hockey last night as teams tried to either fight for a playoff spot, home ice, or the Anderson Cup as the regular season comes to a close. Waterloo defeated the Rough Riders 5-1. The Blackhawks have clinched a share of the Anderson Cup, which goes to the team with the most standings points. Indiana is also fighting for the Cup. Now, Waterloo can win the Cup outright with a win or overtime shootout loss against the Rough Riders tonight in Waterloo. Now, even though the Rough Riders did lose last night, they still clinched the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference and will have home ice for the first round of the playoffs. What helped was Dubuque losing to Youngstown 3-1. The Rough Riders will face the Fighting Saints in the Eastern Conference semifinals starting on April 11th. Great to see 2 local teams go at it in the playoffs. Football news. Former Iowa State and current Philadelphia Eagles linebacker Jake Knott will miss the first 4 games of the regular season after being suspended by the NFL for violating its substance abuse policy. Knott will be able to participate in off-season workouts and preseason games. He came to the Eagles as an undrafted free agent in 2013. NASCAR Nationwide down at Texas Motor Speedway. Cedar Rapids native Joey Gase finished 26th. Landon Castle finished 33rd. And the Cedar Rapids Colonels will hold a doubleheader today versus Clinton. Yesterday's game was postponed due to the cold. Hopefully it's a little bit better out there today. The first game will start at 2:05. I'm KCRG's Josh Christensen, up to date with sports on WMT AM and FM.
600 WMT.
And welcome back. It's the My Car Geek Hour. Jay Cassill is my guest this morning, and we're talking about cars and trucks and taking lots of calls and answering lots of questions. And you're going to do this every Saturday morning, right, at 10 o'clock, so you mark your calendar now.
Yep. And excuse me, yeah, we got, I was fortunate enough that you guys are going to let me do this every Saturday, 10 o'clock, 10 to 11, My Car Geek.
All right.
And like I said, you can go to castlemotors.com, and you can ask a question there during the week if you got a question too, or just wait till Saturday because we're going to be here every Saturday.
That's right. And so anyway, Jay, where are you located? What's the phone number? And you're going to be there about 2 o'clock, right?
Yep. We're on the corner of 16th Avenue and Williams Boulevard, Southwest, right next to Tyson's.
Mm-hmm.
And 396-2698. And the beautiful Shelley will put you through to whoever you want to talk to.
Very good. So, and good Lord willing, I'll be with you every Saturday morning for a while.
Sounds awesome to me.
All right. Sounds good. Hey, thanks much. Big sale going on out there today.
Greg's got an awesome sale going on today. He's got a whole bunch of new cars that just all came in, so he's all ready for you.
Very good. Jay Cassill, thanks much. See you next week.
Thanks for coming in.